What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the test kitchen for Rebel Infusions. I am your co-host, Dan, and this is Celeste. All right, so what are we doing today?
We are making iced tea.
All right, so we're going to do some iced tea, and iced tea is one of the easiest things you can actually do at home, save you a bunch of money, and you know exactly what's going in it. So today we've got this tea right here. This is our watermelon oolong. Are you familiar with oolong tea, Celeste?
No.
All right, let me tell you a little bit. Let me tell you about the story of oolong tea. So oolong tea is essentially a semi-oxidized tea. It's somewhere between a black tea and a green tea. So if you think about, I always use this analogy, but if you're picking a banana, you pick it, it's green, and then it goes yellow, and then it goes black. That's through oxidation. So this is kind of like stopping the oxidation before it goes fully black. Because when you pick the leaf, it's green, and then as you let it sit and oxidize, it'll go black. So you can stop that oxidation before it actually goes fully black and get an oolong tea full of polyphenols, which are in all types of tea, right? So that helps eliminate free radicals in your blood. Anyway, it's all good stuff, but this one's mixed with watermelon.
Do you know what it smells like? It smells like this watermelon candy. It smells so good.
Yeah. So that's that's a watermelon candy, but without
in a tea form.
Without the added sugar. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire up the kettle, because even though we're doing an iced tea, we have to start with boiling the water. So you could actually do iced tea with cold water, like a cold infusion, but you're going to be waiting a lot longer, right? So we don't have the time, or we don't want to wait for it. So we're going to throw it on. We're going to get that up close to a boil. Now with oolong tea, it's a little bit more finicky. It's not like an herbal tea where you can just put boiling water like peppermint or the roasted almond. This one, you have to, if you're going to bring it up to a boil, you let it sit for a few minutes so it can cool down a little bit. So
how much do we need?
So in this, well, we've got this is what we're using. These glasses, right? So I'd say probably 4 heaping teaspoons. Keep in mind when we're putting the ice in, it's going to dilute it. So you want your tea to be a little bit stronger. And we're going to steep it a little longer too. Yeah. There are a few things we can do to sweeten this without actually having an insulin response in our system. One of those ways is, I picked this up at one of the health food stores, and they're really neat because you can just pop them in your pocket, your purse. And this is a monk fruit sweetener. Box is right there. But any type of monk fruit is pretty cool because you can use it to replace sugar in baking, but also it goes really well with iced tea. It dissolves fairly quickly. The other thing is, if any of you keto guys out there or girls have seen erythritol, it's usually Swerve. This is the confectioner's one, so it's more powdery. You can use it for baking, but it also dissolves really easily in warm water. So again, you can use this to sweeten your iced tea. So I think we'll put a little bit in here and see how it goes. The cool thing with erythritol is that it's like 80% as sweet as normal sugar, but it doesn't have that same effect on your insulin levels or your blood sugar levels. So, and it's all natural too. It's just a alcohol sugar. So, okay, so the water is pretty much boiled. What we're going to do is take it off the heat, fill it up, fill our trusty teapot up. Keep in mind, you want to keep space. Like if you've got a smaller teapot, you want to make sure if you've filled the basket with your tea leaves, leave some room, right? Because those leaves are going to open up. Not with herbal teas, but with green tea, black tea, oolong, white. The leaves will open up. So we're going to set this. Got here 8 minutes on the clock.
So why is it 8 minutes?
Good question. It's 8 minutes. Really, if you're doing an oolong tea, typically it's like 3 to 5 minutes, right? But if we're going to be making an iced tea, it's going to have to steep a lot longer. It's going to take longer to pull out a lot of those flavors. And because we're diluting it with ice, You don't want a weak iced tea. So in this case, just double it. That's the rule.
Okay.
Double it.
Good to know.
Yeah, so while we're waiting for that, what we're going to do...
this?
Yeah, we could totally put this sweetener in. I'm going to say, let's do this. Let's do the swerve. Oh.
So how much of it?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll pull the top off. And then 1 teaspoon for each of us. So I'd probably put 2.
Full thing?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like super sweet iced tea. That's good. All right, so stick it back on, put the lid on, and wait. Okay, so our time's up. Our tea's ready to go. What we're gonna do is, we got some ice here. We're gonna just throw in ice cubes. How much ice? A lot of ice. Little
Yeah,
ice.
that's fine. Okay.
All right, so we got our ice going. The other thing you can do is have some fun with garnishes, right? So in this case, Celeste, I've got some blueberries. So I'm just gonna throw some blueberries in.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, isn't that great? Watermelon oolong, iced tea.
Cheers.
Cheers.